The following program has been generously funded by the Patterson Foundation.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to This Book is Cool. My name is Beth Duda, and I'm the director of the Suncoast Campaign for grade level reading. We want to welcome all of you here today. We have a treat. This book, the Guinness Book of World Records, Incredible Animals. I find this book so enjoyable to read, and I have a special friend with us today who also thinks this book is cool. Our guest today is my friend Adam Ratner.
Hello, Miss Beth.
Hi, Adam. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so excited. This is such a cool book.
I agree. I loved reading about all of these amazing animals and the incredible things that they're able to do. So what's one of the things that you found so entertaining about this book?
I think this book is cool because it's filled with a bunch of fantastic facts about all kinds of animals. Dogs, cats, horses, and even snakes. I'm wondering, what's your favorite kind of animal?
Well, I think I enjoy a lot of different animals. I like fluffy, furry animals mostly. Although I do have to say I also enjoy birds, all different kinds of birds.
Great.
What about you?
I am a big dog fan. I have doodles, and they are fluffy and they're fun too.
Is Doodle a kind of a dog?
It's a kind of a dog. It's a Labradoodle and a Golden Doodle. So they're a mix between a Labrador Retriever and a Poodle and a Golden Retriever and a Poodle.
Excellent. I love that those names have been kind of combined to come up with a new name. That's fun. So as I was going through this book, I want to give our audience an opportunity to see some of the kinds of pictures and the different facts that are in this book. This kind of book is a nonfiction book. It's telling real stories about real animals. And for instance, this one is about the oldest living cat. And it was a cat that lived to be 25 years and 339 days. That's amazing.
That is amazing. That's quite a kitty cat.
So what are some of the animals that struck you in?
Well, one of the records that I enjoyed was the records by dogs, because as I said, I'm a big dog fan, and they had records about the world's tallest dog. They had the dog with the world's longest tongue. They had dogs that skateboarded, dogs that can skip, and dogs that can skate on roller skates.
That's just amazing. And I think to myself, like, who had that thought? Who was like sitting at the breakfast table saying, I know, let's see if our dog can roller skate. I wonder how that even happens.
Oh, no, I don't know. Maybe the dog just jumped on a skateboard or a roller skate and they just had a knack for it.
That might be. That might be. So as you said, this book has records in it about the tallest dogs, the smallest dogs, the heaviest dogs, but also other kinds of animals are featured in this book as well. It's not just dogs and cats.
No, that's right. But there are cats. Well, you were talking about cats before, but then did you know you were talking about the world's oldest cat, but there's also a cat who can play the piano and compose a symphony. And another cat that can jump over 6 feet.
That's hard to even imagine a cat being able to leap that far. And then I wonder how they measured that. Like, did they just say, oh, the cat jumped from here to there, and then they measured that distance? Or Did they entice the cat to jump to measure? There's all different kinds of ways that you might go about setting a world record.
That's right.
Now, cats and dogs. You also
Yes.
mentioned in the very beginning snakes.
Yes, there is. There's a great fact in this cool book about a snake. It is about the world's longest snake. It is a python, and it's over 25 feet long.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a big snake.
That's longer than a car.
Oh, yeah, that's longer than a bus almost.
That's pretty incredible, as they say in the title of this book. Well, is there any other thing that you'd like to share with us about reading? I happen to know that you are a world-class reader.
I love reading. I'm always reading a book. I feel lost if I'm not reading a book. And I think one of the greatest things is the adventures you can have from reading a book, whether it's a fiction book and you're reading about great adventures of someone who's not real, or a nonfiction book and reading about people's lives and finding out what the great things that they did.
I think it can be really helpful, especially nowadays. A lot of people are staying at home more or unable to go to school or to summer camp right now. And so a book is a great way to escape to another place.
It's true.
Allows you to have a different feeling and allows you to have a different experience.
Oh, yeah. It's almost like you can put on someone else's shoes and see how they feel.
I love that. I love books that are full of feelings, and I love books that are full of facts. And, you know, the bottom line is I love books.
Me too. I'm a book lover.
Well, I'm so glad you were with us today, Adam. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you, Miss Beth.
And keep reading.
I will. You too.
I will.
Read some cool books.
Okay, bye-bye. That was fun to talk to Adam about books, and especially this book, the Guinness Book of World Records Incredible Animals. I've known Adam for a lot of years, and I have to say it's very unusual to see him without a book in his hand. He truly is a world-class reader. I hope reading is something that you enjoy doing. It can bring a great deal of joy to you and also to others. I hope you'll consider reading a book to one of your friends or to one of your family members. It's fun to read a book to somebody else, and it's also fun to have somebody read a book to you. We have some words from our book for today, the Guinness Book of World Records Incredible Animals, some words to add to our word bank. One of them is the word incredible. That word is right in the title of the book, Incredible Animals. And the word incredible means impossible to believe. So the way that Adam was talking about a snake that is longer than a bus, that's pretty incredible. Impossible to believe. And yet, because it's a non-fiction book, we know that it's true. We also want to add the word balance to our word bank. Balance. Some of the records in this book are about animals who can balance. Balance means to have an even distribution of your weight, so that when someone is standing on a balance beam, they're balancing their weight so they stay straight instead of tipping over. We want to add the word loyal to our word bank. Loyal means showing or giving support to a person or to an organization. You can be loyal to your family members. You can be loyal to your school. You can be loyal to your friends. And one of the things that we'll see in the book that we're reading this week, you can be loyal to your owner, because a lot of the pets that we're hearing about have great loyalty to the people who own them. Another word we're going to add to our word bank this week is the word python. As Adam was telling us about the snake that's as long as a bus, that snake is a kind of snake that is called python. It's a large, heavy-bodied, non-venomous snake. So non-venomous means that it's not a poisonous snake. We also want to add the word popular to our word bank. Popular means to be liked or admired. So many of the animals that are in the World Record Book are popular animals, animals that a lot of people like. Some of the animals we're going to read about aren't popular animals. It might be an animal that's an unusual animal to have as a pet, or a very rare animal that a lot of people don't know about. The last word from this book that we're going to put into our word bank is the word nocturnal. Nocturnal means most active at night. So animals like bats or owls or raccoons spend a lot of their waking hours at night. So they're considered nocturnal. This week, for an activity, we'd like to encourage you to set a record with your animal or your pet. And if you don't have an animal or a pet, you could try to set your own record just as a person. So one of the things we'd like to encourage you to do is think about what are the skills that your animal has, or what makes your animal unusual. Is your cat a very tiny cat? You might want to measure how long your cat is to see if it might qualify as one of the smallest cats in the world. Or if you have a dog that's really big, you might try and figure out a way to measure your dog to see if it might be close to the world record holding dog for the largest dog. You could set a record for how quickly you make your bed. You could try to set a record for how quickly you could empty your dishwasher. You might even want to set a record for how quickly you could walk between one room of your house and another room of your house. And in order to write down your record, all you are going to need is a stopwatch or the ability to mark the time in some way. One of the records that I try to do every now and again is to see how many times I could clap in just 1 minute. So you set a timer. I can set it on my watch for 1 minute, and then I try to clap as fast as I can and get as many claps as I can into 1 minute. You could do that with the other members of your family, and you could find out who in your family is the fastest clapper. We want to thank you very much for being with us today. And if you do an activity where you're setting a record, measuring your dog, finding out who is the fastest clapper in your family, we hope that you'll send us that information so we can share it with other people. You can send your record to connect@gradelevelreadingsuncoast.net. I hope you set a record this week. Maybe my record will be a record of how many books I could read in just 1 week. That would be a fun record to set. Remember, reading is the key to succeeding. We hope you'll join us again for another episode of This Book is Cool. Until then, bye-bye.